Our today's lecture is based on the natural products and the drug discovery, that how natural products are derived from the natural process and how this mankind have different kind of medicinal plant, animal sources, and how the drug can be discovered from the different natural sources. So, in this slides, what we have going to represent today is that different resources of medicine plant, what we are representing here, that how the medicine plant, other resources of animals are derived from the natural products and how they are using as a medicinal products. So, for this starting with the presentation, so first I need to describe that what is the meaning of drug. So, drug is substance that can be anything that is biologically active and responsible for the pharmacological activities and responsible for also combating any kind of the disease. A disease can be maybe acute and maybe a chronic. So, for instance, a substance or a product that can be used for the intended or modifying or exploring the physiological system or pathophysiological state of the benefits of the recipients as acknowledged as the drug. In this physiological and pathophysiological term I have defined. So, in this physiological, it means a drug if altering the any physiological behavior of your body. So, that means biological activeness of your drug. If the pathological state is there in your body, so a drug is necessary to combat the pathophysiological conditions in your body system. Second point is that the how a drug based on the intentional properties. So, based on the chemical drugs, chemical names, a drugs can be classified easily. And the second point is that non-priority name, that is the generic name of a drug. So, based on the generic name, a drug can be sold over the different priorities and in the market house, the different industries. And the third point is that proprietary name, that is the trade name, brand name. So, based on the this trade name and brand name, different drugs are sold out in the market outs. If we talk about the different natural sources of the drugs, that how a drugs any components products derived from the different natural sources. So, there are four basically many classified from where the a drug can be derived. So, first one is the plant, second one is animal, third one is microorganism, and then mineral. These are the four major resources from the drugs are derived and used for the several pathophysiological states and to cure any acute or chronic kidney disease, any of the disease that can be cured by a drug. So, in this drug, if we talk about the plants, so plants occupy the maximum source, maximum abundance in the market society, based on the also the from the traditional system. The plants has been used to mitigate any chronic or acute diseases. Since the history, the medicine plant regime is also acknowledged for the betterment, health care and well-being of the human systems. So, here what we talk about that plants, as you know that plant are the complexity of the phytochemical components and they are exhibiting the less side effects also. So, based on the traditional regime and complexity in the phytochemical constituents, plant has been used as one of the most beneficial and efficient resources of medicines. If we talk about the animals, so if animals we are using, animals we are using as a source for the medicines. So, here in most of the medicine like insulin resistance, insulin that is used for the combating the disease, any amylase, any glucosides, different kind of the formulation that are derived from the plant resources has been abundantly used in the market system. Microorganisms also play important role in development, derived for the vaccines, drugs, antibiotics that has been used abundantly for combating any antibacterial viral disease also. Minerals, as you know that minerals also that are also playing the important role in the system of human body and combating the different pathophysiological states. So, thus mineral also playing the important role in pathophysiological states of human body. So, here these are the some of the examples that are derived from the plant resources. These are the drugs. Suppose that if we talk about the sources of the plant, that how plants yeah, different part of the plants are using for combating any disease. The example is the leaf. Suppose that if we talk about the digitalis, so digitalis leaves has been abundantly used for combating the different heart related disease, and one of the most common example of heart related disease, congestive heart failure. So, digitalis leaves which contain the digitoxin as one of the main active constituent that play an important role in CHF, and then further cinchona, opium and resin that have the most active component like quinine, morphine or anticholinesterase that has been used for mitigating malaria, analgesic and different pathophysiological states in the human bodies. These are some examples, the plants, the part of the plants that had been used for isolation, yeah, drug discovery and development. So, and the market out products that had been used to combat the disease. For example, cinchona bark quinidine is one of the most common example of the phytochemical that has been marketed out as a drug with the brand name that has been Actavis, which is selling the quinine as a brand name for combating the malarial disease, yeah, anti-rheumatic disease, that is the isolated from the cinchona bark, and quinine is represented as one of the chemical constituent that belongs to alkaloid category. Second example of the plant derived drug sources is that the purple foxgloves. Purple foxgloves is also called as digitalis purpurea, and in digitalis purpurea, one of the most common example of phytochemicals that had been used for the cardiotonic. Yeah, we can also say that cardioprotective agent. Yeah, we can also say the myocardiopathy. It is one of the basically used in different heart related disease. Cardiotonic, if we talk about the digitoxin, that is the basic moiety that is belongs to the anthraquinone categories, and the product that has been already sold out by the different companies with the name of the digitoxins in the form of tablets. Suppose that if we talk about the papaver somniferum, as you know that papaver somniferum is the narcotic category of the plant, means government is also having the several excise duties, several taxes for the growing and cultivations and development of the papaver somniferum like plants. So, papaver somniferum is comes under the narcotic category of the plants. So, it cannot cultivate it easily. If you are going to cultivate the papaver somniferum, you have to take out the several provisions like excise the permissions of the existing government in which area you are going to cultivate or growing the papaver somniferum like program. It is also called as poppy plant. So, here there are some major phytochemical constituents, that is paregoric, morphine and codeine. These are the three one of the major phytochemical constituents that are present in papaver somniferum, yeah, poppy plant, and that has been abundantly used for mitigating, yeah, malfunction of diarrheal, analgesic, antitussive agent, yeah, properties. So, if we talk about the brand name of the papaver somniferum, so Vermor 10 is one of the most common example of brand that has been derived from the morphine and other phytochemical constituents of papaver somniferum. So, there are some also other examples. If we talk about Nicotiana tambacum, that you have already seen the name of Nicotiana tambacum, that is used as a stimulant properties, yeah, immune system, yeah, as also we can say that CNS stimulation properties also. So, here is one of the phytochemical that is nicotinic, yeah, we can say nicotinic acid that act on the nicotinic receptors and thus stimulating the pathophysiological or we can say physiological state of human body. So, if we talk about the second example of plant derived drug, that is Atropa belladonna, it is one of the most common example also. You can see this plant in your surrounding also. So, it is basically used for the property of anticholinergic actions, yeah, it is also used as a poison for determination of several pathophysiological states in the human body. So, the third point is also said that opium seeds, yeah, papaver somniferum, the morphine is one of the common example that used for several pathophysiological states. Then here the next another example is Vinca rosea. We can also say that Catharsis rosas, The second, yeah, synonyms of Vinca rosea, and that is one of commonly used in anti-cancer properties, antioxidant, antimicrobial, and anti-tussive properties also. So there are one phytochemicals I didn't mention here, but the vincristine and vinblastine are the most common examples of phytochemicals of Vinca rosea that is used for anti-cancer properties. Digitalis purpurea, foxgloves, that is another example of CHF. Cinchona, I have already told you that cinchona is also used for anti-malarial property and anti-tussive properties also. If we talk about the different phytochemical states of plant-derived resources drugs, so there are major phytochemical states of plant-derived resources that are alkaloid, glycosides, oil, resins, gums, and tannins. These are the major category of phytochemicals that are present in the medicinal plants and having several pharmacological states are responsive that are biologically active in your responses. So, if we talk about alkaloids, these are the nitrogen containing atoms and heterocyclic components are there that is used for several antitussive and antibiotic properties also. If we talk about the glycoside, these are the sugar containing, yeah, we can say a glycone, yeah, glyconic part of the natural products that it means plants. So, basically used for the antitussive, anti-diabetic and different other pathophysiological states. So, here you have to understand that plants having the complexity in phytochemicals, so you cannot deny that a plant can be used only for a single disease, because the majority of phytochemical, because of the majority of phytochemicals, a plant can be used in different pathophysiological state, but it depends on the nature of phytochemical present in plant and what is the pharmacokinetic and pharmacodynamic behavior of metabolites present in the plants. So, if we talk about the oils, resins, yeah, gums, these all are the basic categories of phytochemicals that also used for the different properties, yeah, fragrance, yeah. We can also say the deodorant properties is also there, that is derived from the oils for a different plant that are basically used for the purpose of anti-inflammatory properties. Yeah, we can also say that anti-rhythmic, yeah, arthritis activities also. If we talk about the tannins are the complex moiety of polyphenolic components. Here the tannins having the complex structure of multiple polyphenols components, and these are basically divided into two different categories, that is hydrolyzable and condensed tannins. So, here is the common example of alkaloid containing drugs, that is nitrogen. Just I have already told you that alkaloids are nitrogen containing heterocyclic bases are insoluble in water, and salt which are acidic and which are insoluble in soluble in water. So, the common example of alkaloid is atropine, and the atropine is derived from Atropa velodona, and this is the morphological states of Atropa velodona, and this is the basic structure of atropine, and that has been used for anticholinergic and cardioprotective activities. So, here the second example of alkaloid containing drug, that is cinchona bark, and cinchona bark that contain the majority of quinine, that is a phytochemical of cinchona bark, which is used for the anti-malarial and dengue properties. And the third one, the example of Rauwolfia serpentina. Here you can see the Rauwolfia serpentina in your surrounding also, that one of the most common example, and that is the Indian medicinal plant, and derived reciperin as a phytochemical that is belongs to the alkaloid category, and that mainly used for anti-hypertensive properties. Another example that I have already told you, that nicotiana, nicotinic acid, या nicotine that are derived from the nicotiana, nicotiana tambacum plants, that is tropical region that has been growing and cultivated in several parts of India, and it is also majorly cultivated in the southern part of India. It is basically used for the different pharmacological activities like cardioprotective effects, yeah, CNS stimulant, yeah, memory and cognition enhancements. If we talk about the glycosides, I've already told you that glycosides are the glycosidic moiety containing atoms that contain glycosidic or aglycone, yeah, glycone parts, and different derived from the different resources also, and that contain a glucose and non-sugar moiety, and both the fusion consist, yeah, derived a form of glycosides. So here the sugar portion governs the pharmacokinetic characteristic of glycosides. It means pharmacokinetic, the how your drug is behaving, yeah, how your body is drug is behaving with your body. So that is the part of pharmacokinetics. So here on the hydrolyzation with the mineral acids, yeah, all glycosides is split into sugar and non-sugar part. Sugar means glycone part, or non-sugar part portion is aglycone part, that a glycosides is derived from in different categories of the plants. So common example of phytochemicals that are derived from the glycosidic part, that is digitoxin, digoxin are obtained from the foxglove leaves. Yeah, plant's name, botanical name is Digitalis purpurea. If we talk about the oils, so there are basically three different type of oil. First is essential oil, fixed oil and mineral oil. Essential oil, we can also say that these are the volatile oils that are generally volatile at the normal temperatures. So we cannot store this type of the oil in an open container, yeah, any ambered glass chambers. So fixed oil that are not volatile at the normal room temperature, and mineral oil are derived from the different kinds of the plant derived resources. So here essential oils, yeah, volatile oils to obtain from the different leaves, yeah, flower, yeah, part of the stem distillation, terpenes, derivatives. So these are have aroma, and stem volatiles components also there, non-food values, yeah, caloric, these contain and do not form soap, yeah, alkaloids with the interaction of phytochemical constituents. If we talk about the rancidity of phytochemicals and derived oil, so it depend on the rancidity, yeah, hydrolyzable, yeah, saponification strength of the oil, that how much saturation, yeah, unsaturated fatty acids are present in a essential oil or a fixed oil. So rancidity basically represents the purity and stability of a oil, that how much your oil is stable with the particular acidity values, yeah, acid values also we can say. So here the different products that are derived from the marketed product, so used for the different pharmacological activities. So if we talk about the oils that products that are derived with the mixture of essential, fixed oil, mineral oils. So one of the common example is carbonative oils that is used for expulsion of gases from the stomach. The example is ginger eucalyptus oil act as irritant to gastric mucosa. If we talk about the antiseptics product that has been used for different kind of properties, yeah, elements that happens in your mouth cavity. So oil having the antiseptic properties also, and different marketed product like peppermint oil is mainly used. Yeah, peppermint oil derived product has been basically used for the mouth preparations also. So there are another form of the pharmaceuticals that like creams, yeah, dental creams also there. So these are having the role as a pain relieving sources, and basically clove oil for toothache act as a counter irritant. If we talk about the fixed oil, so fixed oil obtained by solvent extraction of crushed seeds. So most of the plants, yeah, seeds that containing the larger amount of fixed oil. So over there, this fixed oil is isolated from such type of the drugs, and fixed oil having the higher strength of triglycerides, saturated form of animals, and unsaturated form of plant. These are non-volatile having the caloric value. You just differentiate the mean of the caloric value, yeah, non-caloric value of oil, means those type of the oil that having the caloric value provide energy, maximum energy consumptions. So that come under the caloric values. Suppose that fixed oil, if we talk about the fixed oil, so fixed oil having the high caloric values. So fixed oil from soap, yeah, with the alkaloids, yeah, become rancid, yeah, prolonged stay. If you say that you are going to store the fixed oil in the container such type that the contact of light is directly available on the product, yeah, container. So based on the prolongation of the time, so this type of oil are become rancid or become saponified based on their characteristic, as I have already told you that they are having the high unsaturation component like fatty acids. These are the common examples of fixed oil like groundnut oil, coconut oil, olive oil that having the means protective effect. Like if we say the castor oil, that is basically used for the purgative property. Purgative property, it means to lose out your stool from your stomach, yeah, intestinal wobbles. So these are the common examples, and different companies also making this as a brands and for the different activities, yeah, for wellness of the human beings. So these are the mineral oils. Mineral oils obtained by the dry distillation of woods. Like for example, liquid paraffin, that is the most common example of mineral oil, and that is the consists of the maximum complexity of hydrocarbons and examples that are derived from the petroleum components of. These having the property of lubricant, laxative, and these are also used for purgative property. If you will consume the mineral oil, so having the soothing, yeah, smoothing property on your intestine, large intestine also. So the liquid paraffin, the 50 ml 50 ml containing container of the product, and that is marketed out by General Pharmaceutical Private Limited. These are resins. So these are the polymers of volatile oils and insoluble in water. So for example, benzoin is the example of resins. Yeah, we can also say that guar gum is one of the most common example of resins that are completely derived from the different sources of the medicine plant also, and having the pharmacological activities like is used for the inhalation in common cold, yeah, treatment of cough. These are the basic properties of resins. Suppose that if we talk about the gums, gum acacia is one of the common example, and having the different properties like emulsifying or suspending agent. Most of the pharmaceutical industries having gum, yeah, which use the gum as a suspending agent, yeah, emulsifying agent, and it is also used for the laxative and purgative properties. And we can also say that if you see guar gum, yeah, gum, the most common example in the local language, if we say that kidney is there, so that is basically used for the immune responsive activities to boost your immune system. So these are the basic morphology of product, and the guar gum, yeah, resins, we can say a gum acacia is there. So it's look like this. So the last point on the phytochemicals, that is tannin. Tannin, I have already told you that non-nitrogens containing polyphenolic components, and the polyphenolic components that are having the complex structures that contain the different categories of polyphenols. Polyphenols that is derived, yeah, consist of the different components that having the hydroxyl group. So if you say that here is the most to the complex example of tannins, the complex phenols or polyphenols, we can also say that pharmacological activities of tannins, the cardiogenesis, yeah, anti-cancer, we can also say anti-cancer or anti-tumor, antiviral activity, yeah, inhibition of active oxygen, yeah, inhibition of lipid peroxidation in a body when your body completely exposed with the oxidative stress, yeah, inflammatory stress also. So tannin having the widespread role in the pharmacological activities, and mostly used for cardioprotective agents, and also used for the antihypertensive properties. So If we talk about the drugs that are derived from the animal sources, so animal sources, that is the example heparin that is obtained from leech, insulin obtained from the pork pancreas of cow, buffaloes, and thyroxine, thyroid we can say also, that is derived from the thyroid hormones, vitamin B12 that is liver extracted product, cod liver oil, that is having anti-toxic sera for different animals that use for the different pharmacological activities. The examples of animals and the trade name of the product from by which the different pharmaceutical products are marketed out in the India or throughout the nations, and their classification based on their pharmacological activities. If we talk about the pancreas of cow, pancreas of pork, so it is used to isolate insulin based on the regular basis. So here that is used for the pharmacological activities, that is anti-diabetic. It is the insulin that you know that it is hormones that regulate the blood glucose level in your body. If we talk about the stomach of cow, that is used mainly for isolate of the pepsin for the digestions of proteins, amino acids in your body, and mainly it is also known as digestive hormones. And third point is that thyroid gland of animals basically used for the isolation of thyroid hormones and for regulation of the thyroid related pathophysiological states. So you can see here BEESWAX is also the yellow and white BEESWAX is that is basically used for the production of several emollients, creams, emulsions. So basically BEESWAX is used for the smoothing properties, we can say, and for the dryness purpose of your skin, also having the different properties like that is one of the common example of BEESWAX, creams, cold creams. So in cold creams, on the large basis the BEESWAX is basically used for the emollient purpose and for the smoothing of your skin. So BEESWAX is basically obtained from the honeycomb of your live bees, that is scientifically known as Apis mellifica and other species of Apis families. So here the main constituents of BEESWAX are fatty acid. If you say that 80% of myrcel palmitate with a little myrcel is acetate, it also contains about 50% of free cerotic acid, cerulin, hydrocarbons, lactones or cholesterol ester, and pollen pigments also is there as a major major constituents of BEESWAX. So the properties of BEESWAX is also you can say here the plasters, ointment and polishing. On polishing, BEESWAX is also basically used for the polishing purposes for on your skins. We can say the hardware and things that basically used for your decorative purpose. So here is the wool fat that is the anhydrous lanolin. Lanolin actually a basically phytochemical, we cannot say phytochemical, we can also say the lanolin also present in the several plants also, but it is also isolated from the wool fat of sheep. So the sources of wool fat, lanolin, anhydrous lanolin, it is the waxy substance prepared from the wool fat of sheep, obvious arise, that is bovidae. Description of wool fat, lanolin is that is tenacious substance with a faint with characteristic of odor. So this is the final product. We can say the anhydrous lanolin that appears look like that, and these are the different pharmaceutical product. We can say the wool wax creams, cold creams, different pharmaceutical product that is used for the preparation of ointment and emulsions for smoothing your skins. If we talk about the drug derived from the microorganism, so microorganism, we can say there are two type of microorganisms. The first one is pathogenic and second one is non-pathogenic. pathogenic that are causing for the pathogenic states, it means they are causing for the disease in your body, that's come under pathogenic bacteria. Yeah, non-pathogenic, that is also called probiotics. So different pharmaceutical products, yeah, we can say food supplements also there that are sold out based on the name of probiotics. The common example of yogurt having the different bacteria of that are beneficial for your or stomach or digestive system. So here these are the different microorganisms that are used for the different products, isolation of product like penicillin, that is isolated from the Penicillium notatum, that is the fungus, you already know that, and chloramphenicol, that is isolated from Streptomyces vanillus, and Glycoflavin, streptomycin and neomycin, these are the another example of antibiotics derived from different bacterial resources. Another example of microorganism derived antibiotics, that is chloramphenicol. The example of chemical structure of chloramphenicol is this, that is the nitrogen containing atom. But here you can say it cannot be act as a alkaloid because the nitrogen is outside of the ring, means aliphatic chains of the nitrogen is there. So we can not say that this component is comes under the category of alkaloids. So chloramphenicol injection is used for the treatment of different type of pathophysiological states like bacterial infection or viral infection. Yeah, this is also an antibiotic that is used for the for different treatment of like different vaccines that is derived from the respiratory infection, bronchitis, stomachitis. We can also say that it is basically used in the ureters disease that happen from the infection of bacteria and fungus. So this is a product that is chloramphenicol sodium injection derived from the preservative in different companies. So the last point is of plant derived phytopharmaceuticals, that is Tanichloidia, Myelinoglide, that is obtained from the bacteria and the fungus that is present in the marine. We can also say that this particular drug also derived from the marine sources that containing the tanichloid as an active component. So it is basically used from the derived from the fungus. So it is also used for the antifungal properties also. So the basic structure of fungus is here. So you can also say that here C from the where that this particular fungus is used to isolate the tanichloid as a active component. So further the Penicillinum notatum used for the anti-fungal activity, and different marketed product injections and the tablets capsules also there that are used for the treatment of several varieties of infections like infection, nasal infection, respiratory tract infection, skin infection, soft tissue or sexually transmitted disease like syphilis. Penicillin having the different pathophysiological role in your different disease conditions. So here the another example of Penicillinum graciophilum, that is another species of Penicillinum fungus, and that the product Glycoflavin tablets 500 mg, 500 mg is also there with the brand name of Gravel 500. So it is basically used for the treatment of skin infection, maximum used for the athletes for to get relief from the pain, different fingernails infection, tonsils and infection are also there. These are the different resources, derived product, component derived from the different fungus, algae we can also say that. So there are different type of algae like brown algae, red algae or green algae are there. So fucodens, carrageenans, we can also say the olivans. These are the particular chemicals that are derived from the different type of algae like brown, red or green algae, and used for the different properties like wound dressing, drug delivery properties and tissue engineering. And the last resources of plant derived drug is that many resources, minerals are there that are having the wide pathophysiological states, treatment of several ailments in your body. Suppose that anemia, that is the one of the pathophysiological state in your body, that is treated by ferrous sulfate. Magnesium sulfate and sodium bicarbonate also used for the purgative or anti-acid properties. Aluminum hydroxide is also used for your anti-acid properties. Another example of mineral resources in drugs that is used for the different states, that is magnesium, that is derived from the milk of magnesia and used for the antacids. Laxity properties. Zinc oxide is an example. Zinc oxide with the trade name product is there, that is used for the sun screen, skin protection. Gold, you are also aware that the gold is used for the different properties like anti-inflammatory, used in the taxis of the rheumatoid arthritis also. These are the all examples that are the derived phytochemicals, further chemicals derived from the different resources of plant derived, and how the drug discovery and development can be derived from the different natural products. These all are the examples, and these are the different products, how the markets, pharmaceutical industries are strongly emphasized for the development of product, pharmaceutical products from the different derived from the natural resources.